Season 2, it's incredible. Like we'll just get into spoilers in a second, but season 2 is the whole Shibuya arc, and like the things that I hold against season 2 are a direct correlation because of season 1.
Yeah,
but everything about season 2 to me was just like I was slow clapping. I was like,
yeah, it was. I said, wow, this is to me a drastic improvement. I was. It's still story wise, obviously.
It's still yeah, and even the ending was a little ham-fisted. So okay, we'll go into spoilers, but jumping to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, even that was fine. It made.
I thought it was better than what I was going to expect because you got to know the. Like you were getting us to know
Yuta Okatsu.
Yeah, and then the other one of the talk guy who talks and stuff. I forgot his name. Like getting at least to know him better. I thought that was good.
Oh, Toji?
I think that's what his name.
The guy who can't use curses.
He says salmon all the time or whatever.
Inumaka. I can't think of his name.
I think it starts with a T or something like that. But it was like nice getting to know him a little bit. Yeah, so I thought like even though it's the same director, from season 1, I thought that he did a better job with the movie.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. That whole origin story, which will. With was it Yuta Okatsu? He comes in at the end of season 2, but off the bat, season 2 starts with the flashback, which I loved. Like I loved it. I said just make the whole season the flashback. When I first started, it's a lot slower pace. It's fun. The jokes are there, but toned down just enough. Like
exactly,
just enough.
Yeah, it's like let's dial it back. Like the jokes are still there.
Yeah,
like they're just not like just they're not as goofy, but they're still joking around.
Right. Gojo and Gato, love them.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, they're great.
They're great.
I was like, I like Gato now.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
And then it's and then like the whole Shibuya arc, man, like.
Actually, before we get into the Shibuya arc, one thing I liked, the first episode after the flashback, I liked when Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, they were just like hanging out because there was that girl that liked Yuji, and there was I was like, they're establishing that these three are supposed to be a team, and supposed to be friends because they didn't do a good job with that in season 1.
Yeah.
Like they tried to they fought together at the end, like they're a team, but it wasn't really believable. Yeah. They actually they established it to make it more believable. So I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
that's 100%. Why that was something that I wanted to see.
100%.
So it kind of helped out with the rest of the season.
Like, I even felt like they were paying like homage to certain things, like Mechamaru. I was like, I'm watching Gundam. I was like, yo, it was like,
that was cool.
They literally, and I would argue, season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen did way more things in it that with any lesser director would have been a mess.
Yeah,
far more than season 1. But for some reason, season 1 felt like a mess.
I thought it was pretty messy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't believe anything that I'm saying.
Don't get me wrong, season 1 is still fun. I enjoy it. A lot of great fight scenes. It's a mess narratively.
Yeah, it is a little all over. What I like about season 2 also are the villains are villains. They are pretty scary.
Yes, they are.
Mahito, I'm like, please kill this man. Please kill him.
Yeah, it's so true. Like in season 1,
Sukuna is insane. I'm like, I like they're actually like intimidating villains now. And Jogo, I like Jogo. Jogo was great.
I hate him season 1.
I hate him. Now he's like, because they were even trying to make the villains goofy in season 1. Like, they're the bad guys.
Yeah, and you know,
like stop making them so goofy.
Yeah, like Jogo when he faced Gojo. These names. Yeah, when Jogo faced Gojo, in season 1, and he just flipped him around like a gnat fly.
Yeah.
Season 2, I was like, Jogo is like they're actual characters, you know.
Yeah,
exactly. There's actual stakes. Like I actually am scared. Like I said with Mojito. I was like ghetto Mojito.
Ghetto.
Yeah, no, I was dude, that's a great point. I think you're right. The season 2 villains were the same.
Because Jogo will like by himself like took out was it Maki and the old guy and then Nanami. I was like, did I?
So wait, hold that thought real quick. So episode 16 or 15
You
of
bought it already?
I got this, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, Nanami. I love this character. He's so amazing, right?
And he's dead.
And as soon as it came
All
in,
right.
yeah, spoilers. Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna die because a lot of people were talking about him a few months ago because he did that because the androgynous character who he was fighting, I had him by the ponytail, so like horny TikTok would like love like how he was holding the guy's ponytail. I was like, oh god. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's probably gonna be around for a while. I'm like, oh no, never mind. He's dead.
I got this. Like, yo, I love this character. You know, I was finally like, yo, this is actually a really good show. Kill my guy.
Yeah. And you know, like I was starting to like Maki too because she's part of that clan, and she can only use curses when she has glasses on.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's great.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, I like that.
He So one of the things that happened, is I think it actually happened in the manga. Like, the guy who can just stand all the time, he wasn't really in season 2.
No, he wasn't.
And then it's what I'm supposed to say. One of my issues is like the director, I think, did his job, but it's like you couldn't squeeze everyone in.
Yeah, you couldn't.
But I'm kind of happy they did not because I was so invested in everyone. Who's the girl with the in the flashback, but also has like the weird haircut?
I was like, with the brother. She has a brother.
Yeah, it's the same girl in the flashback.
Oh god, it's I think it's Mei.
Mei, right?
Yeah, I think it's Mei. Yeah.
I was like, first of all, that haircut. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's okay.
How can you see? You too, Gojo. I'm looking at you, Gojo, and Mei.
How Gojo takes off the thing.
She's super.
His hair goes down.
She's super cool. Like, I love that it was just one. Like, half of the show was one incident.
Yeah.
Half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was ready to come here and flame JJK.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting through season 1. I was like, this is.
It was fine. It
was fine, but I was like, I'm like, I don't care anymore. And then I was like, oh, okay, this has got way better somehow.
Yeah.
Because I think some people from, when I was checking out Reddit, there are some people that prefer season 1 than season 2.
Fuck out of here. No.
Because with season 2, if you're watching week by week, you're just watching a one long fight for 6 months.
That I can understand.
Which is kind of understandable. It's like, all they're doing is fighting, and they're not talking or and there's no. I'm like, which I can see because if you're like watching season 2, they're fighting the entire time.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's like Yuji is off on his own, and then you know Megumi is doing his thing and fighting his revived brother for a second.
Yeah. And
so it's like there's a lot of fighting throughout the season. There's really no like character. Even though I thought they did the characters better, they're making them actual people. You know?
No, I thought I was watching DBZ, the season 1.
Exactly.
And like, I get your point. It's like if you're watching week by week, sometimes it's like, oh, what's happening? They're just
yeah, because they were like pretty much fighting the entire season, but it is a better season, and it's better directed.
Yeah,
the direction is so much better.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 is one of the most overrated shows that had come out, and season 2 is one of the most amazing shows I've seen.
Yeah, like season 1, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? This thing is like but it's not great.
I absolutely loved everything about season 2, and once again, I still have my issues with it, but most of those issues come from season 1. And how season 1 was told, and my feelings from season 1. So I don't know how I want to shake that out, but because
I don't know, maybe it's just they toned down characters like Toto. Like he wasn't so as annoying this time when he was. I'm like, oh, now I like Toto because he's not fucking crazy this time.
So I actually, about to lie, one of my favorite parts to season 1 was Toto. brother. I love that. I was like, but even that was weird because I loved his character, but his introduction to Megumi, I was like, why did they beat the crap out of him? Like, it makes no sense. Like, why? Like, they all try to murder. Like, I get why they would want to murder Yuji, but it was so like, hey guys, we're gonna kill him. Oh, we're friends now, and it's like,
it's just like, that's the whole rushing through everything. I'm like, all right, like.
Yeah,
like stop jumping to things so quickly.
Yeah, God, I almost feel like season 1 should have been broken into 2 seasons. I want to see some growth.
Because I thought it should have been better in season 2. It's like they had all the things there to make it like good.
Yeah,
but the direction just wasn't there. It was like, this is what I wanted season 1 to be, and it wasn't.
And you even teased in a tournament arc. We didn't even get it.
Yeah, I was like,
so
that stupid Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill.
A baseball game. It gave us a baseball game. I was so mad. I
didn't mind the baseball game. I'm like, can we just do something where it's like you can have some character interaction or something but it's just like, oh.
All right, so best fight.
I'm going to say Yuji versus Chozo.
Jujutsu Kaisen best fight is Yuji. Oh yeah.
Because they were in close quarters. They were fighting so it was like with anime fights. You're used to seeing people get thrown to mountains and stuff, buildings getting destroyed. But it was like a more like close fight. They had nowhere to go, so they're just like doing a close fight. And
that
stuff.
was a fantastic.
I thought that was
the blood guy, right?
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Insanely great.
I was like, man, that's so good.
God, that was fantastic. And I was like, they're gonna do the shonen thing where like the power of friendship. I'm gonna figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he lost.
Yeah.
I was a little iffy on the
end. How they
it's my brother.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But yeah, that's probably one of the best fights.
That was a really good fight. I might want to say it was great.
It was a great fight.
Yeah.
Maki versus Miwa was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best moment from a fight, and probably one of my favorite moments of all time in the show, was when Jogo had his special art.
Yeah.
Was it a special art? It was special. The meteor.
Yeah. Oh, and then
and he's like, we have to get out of here. He's like, don't move.
I was like, oh my god!
Like I just like this.
I was like, okay, I was like, oh my god, no.
I was just like, this show. Like that's what I said.
That was really good. I was like, oh my god.
That's when I said this show is incredible.
Yeah.
I wish he did season 1. I wish he would redo season 1.
Yeah, I was like, oh god.
I was so bought in by that point.
That part was I rewound that like 4 times.
Me too.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, that was crazy.
Incredible.
That was so good.
When he shot the meteor and they're running and right, like I'm invested in Panda.
Yeah. I was like, not Panda, no. Because they were like, they're trying to get out of there and he just like freeze. I was like, oh my god.
That was one of my favorite just moments.
Yeah.
My favorite fight. I'm probably being an idiot here. So it's that I really loved. What was it? When Nobara and Yuji were fighting the younger 2 brothers.
Oh, in his first season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. I thought that was.
I think
that was.
What's his name? Nobara, right?
Nobara.
Well, I think she's Nobara. I think she's one of the most underrated characters. Yeah, I like the moment when she's like stabbing herself with the pin. Yeah. And then the brother tries to come in behind her and get her, and she's like, "You haven't seen my move. You haven't seen my new move yet. Hairpin." And then the nail gets big.
Yeah.
And then when she's facing Mojito, and that whole scene where he does the hairpin and it hits the other one.
Oh yeah.
Like even the emotional moment of Yuji just giving up. Is that what you said? The voice actor was crying.
No, I think you sent that to me, or I forgot.
The voice actor
I forgot. I forgot. I was trying to stay away from it, so I forgot which scene it was though.
Oh, okay. I gotta look it up again. But he was crying during one of the scenes that he was getting emotional and bending over. Yeah. And I felt that scene, man. When he was giving up, and Toto came.
Yeah. Yo, that's because he had to snap out of it.
Yeah, like that, like the emotional.
Didn't Toto do the switch when Yuji was about to beat, because Toto was like done when they were fighting Mahito, and so it was Yuji versus Mahito, and then Toto got up and did like one last switch
with no hand. He was like, "You don't need hands to clap." Yeah. I was like, yeah, maybe. I was like, that hurt, Toto.
Yeah, I was like, that looked painful.
Oh, Toto's great. Nominee is. Oh, I like the nominee. I can't see his name. And Mojito. No, season 1 had great fights too. Like,
yeah, they did. It just didn't match like with the writing choices
Yeah.
that they had. That's what I think.
Matter of fact, the whole domain thing.
I like the domain.
It's a fantastic concept that is ham-fistedly brought to the show in season 1 when it's Gojo. But when you start getting through the more powerful characters, like the Mojito has a great one with the hands thing that's super cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
It's one of the coolest
like
ones.
Yeah.
I like Megumi's one from the end of season 1, the Shadow Realm, and I love the sea dude.
The sea dude.
When
Oh, they were fighting on season 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
That was great.
That
was so good. Yeah, Nominees is super cool. With his
I thought didn't Gojo have like infinite void or something like that? Because I wrote down like it kind of looked like a Final Fantasy super like boss like super power attack.
Really...
I kept thinking like get ready to heal your character.
Yeah, no,
I was like, oh my god, this is scary.
Like even his whole red purple infinity. I think the whole infinity thing. Like after watching a couple, I get it. It's just like it's just say he has the strongest domain expansion. Yeah, not that he's good with infinite. It was too much, but when you got to the other domains, they all look so much cooler. Yeah. Even the Shikigami thing with Megumi, which I don't think they really touch on with a lot of other characters, but like I like one thing
I don't know how I felt how when he summoned that Maharaga thing.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. That is one that felt like it came out of nowhere.
It did.
I was like,
okay. it was. I mean, if I had
that was one. I was like, okay, you didn't.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. 100%. It's like it basically killed him.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I don't know how I feel about the pseudo Gato, the guys for things switching bodies and shit. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
So the ending that was hella confusing. And all over the place.
Because in the manga, if you find, I think I saw someplace, there's a panel of like so much exposition on this one page. It was, I'm like, it's insane how much they wrote on this like they're just like just dumping everything about what was going on.
It works, but once again, and one of the biggest flaws with Jujutsu Kaisen is that a lot happens. And you're trying to figure out, wait, where'd that come from? So it's like, oh, Geto died in the prequel movie, but he was around, and then in season 1. So it's like, okay, well maybe he didn't really die. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, okay, I'd rather just be Geto instead of whatever this, what do they say? This old sorcerer or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot to say, but it's like
I got so lost at the end.
Yeah, it got so confusing. His whole plot is like I'm going to wake up the inner sorcerer and people who have the ability, and then wake up the cursed object and the people who I had swallow or hold cursed objects, so that way the whole world can fight each other. And be a sorcerer now. It
was like all the dialogue they didn't have in season 2 was all fit into this last 5 minutes. That's what it felt like.
The only episode where I was like, ugh, was the final episode. And it was because it was I kept rewatching. I had to watch a bunch of recaps and go, hey, I don't know what's going on. And then they just threw in Yuta out of nowhere. Now he's bad.
He's back to kill Yuji because they're going to kill him because I guess he turned to Sukuna and killed all those people.
They don't do a good job with a lot of the build up.
No. Action fantastic. Story stuff they could do a little bit better at.
The story, I wish I had two categories. Story of what the story is, how I would rate it, and the execution of the story. Yeah. And from what I've been able to attain from the story is that, once again, it's actually really good. How they executed the story in season 1, 6. Yeah. 2, I would 8.5. I would even say 9, maybe. Sorry, guys, we had technical difficulties. We lost the last 15 minutes of the episode, so we're going to continue with Brad's slander of JJK.
Well, I gave it a 6. Season 1, 6.
Yeah, we were covering. The what you would rate the show, and you.
I said season 1. Of course, I would give season 2 by itself like a 9, but as a whole, I'm giving the series a 6 at this moment. So you wasted my time with season 1, and then you had it in you this whole time with season 2.
So the funny part, Brad, is that you had we lost that footage. We
Yes.
could have saved our whole show.
Yeah,
But you decided to double down. Once again, I'm saying I think overall the show was a 9. And all is forgiven in season 1 because season 2 is so much better. I think it is season 2 is a 9. I think overall is an 8.5, with me willing to go up to 9 depending on how season 3 goes.
It in all seriousness, it's a story that I'm just still trying to like embrace, but I can't really because it's still kind of messy. I didn't like how season 1, didn't really do well with the characters, and it's like with season. I'm glad they improved. They did a great job with them, and the new director coming in, the new producers, and improving the direction of the show. That's impressive. I'm not even like gonna. Of course, there's no debate with that. But it's just like you wasted my time.
Once again, Brad.
You had elements in season 1 to be better than season 2, but I thought the direction just wasn't good. So I'm like, 6.5. I'll be generous.
Brad, the main reason why I'm giving the whole thing 8.5
because of season 2.
9, not just that, bunnies. The bunnies. Megumi's bunnies. That's why. Anyways,